3.
Hi, I'm Isaac. I'll be talking about Lesson 5 of Mixology for Science Matters. This is the hydrogen popper. I'll be demonstrating it for you. I'll just show you the final product now, and then we'll go through the steps. In 3, 2, 1. We had a nice little burst there. We're setting off some hydrogen, and we're splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen, and I'm going to show you the steps for assembling the apparatus in class. You should have, from training, 2 graphite leads here, your spark gap, 2 sets of alligator clip wires, 1 9-volt battery, some plastic, some rubber bands, and of course your bottle, which you've cut the bottom off. We'll begin with pre-class prep, and the first step will be at the very beginning of class to go ahead and mix your 1/4 cup of baking soda with water. Go ahead and combine those right at the beginning of class, because the more time it has to dissolve, the better it'll work for you. And we'll just give it a stir. Then the next step you might want to prep before class is to make sure that you have a good seal on your bottle. For that, we'll put the plastic wrap on, and we'll pull it tight over, and then we'll wrap it with rubber band. You want to put the rubber band in this area between these 2 ridges where there are no threads. The threading will create a gap and break the seal. So we'll just put it on, and then if you hold it with your thumb and just wrap it very tightly around a couple of times, you should have a good tight seal. But then to test it, which you should test it before class so you know you have it ready, just go ahead and submerge it in the water. Let it fill completely with water and get all the air out of it. And then when you stand it up, if you have a good seal, you won't have bubbles forming at the top. If there are a couple little bubbles that have gotten in, that's not a real problem. What you don't want is bubbles coming up, indicating a leak. So this seal looks good. Let's move on to the actual preparation during class. When you're ready to go, you'll want to take your graphite leads and first attach them with the alligator cables to the battery. And you can demonstrate then that you can demonstrate the bubbles that come as we're splitting the hydrogen, we're splitting the water into hydrogen and oxygen gas. And I'll use this beaker for the purposes of this video to make it more visible. But we should see bubbles forming around the leads. And you can, we will then put it in the bottle to collect the gas, just to make sure that the leads don't touch in the bottle. You can attach them with a little bit of masking tape if you haven't already at training, or this is really for your comfort, but I recommend it. Like so. And put one more on there, and then that's all we need for the first stage, which is creating the gas, which we'll collect in the bottle. And so we'll insert that into the bottle, attach it from the battery. You may want to detach the battery before you put this in, just for your own comfort, because you will feel the current a little bit if the battery's attached. So when your hands are in the water, you might want to detach it. But we're just putting the leads into the bottle, along with the spark gap, which we'll need later. We can see that our spark gap looks like it's in good order. We have just a small gap there on the end, and when we insert it into our bottle, it comes up so that the gap is in the neck of the bottle, but not poking through the top. That's just about where we want it. So with our leads and our gap in the bottle, we'll submerge it and fill it with water, just as we did to test the seal at the beginning. get as much air out as possible, and then we'll stand it up. And there we are. You can now attach the battery to the leads, the graphite leads, and bubbles are now forming. When you have a bubble that just fills the neck of the bottle, then you'll want to ignite it by switching the alligator clips over to the spark gap and lighting it with your igniter, as we did in the demonstration in the beginning. As soon as these this gap is clear of the top, you can go ahead and ignite it if you want to. You definitely don't want to let the bubble get bigger than the neck of the bottle, and that's for safety reasons. There won't be an explosion, there won't be any shrapnel, but it can become very loud. It looks like it's clear, so let's give it a try. Again, I've attached the alligator clip to the bare wire on the spark gap, attaching it to the igniter like this. And grab it, and in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. I didn't let it get to the full size, so with a bigger bubble, you have a bigger bang. So have fun with it. Practice it at home. That's always the key with this one. Especially make sure that you can get a good seal and have a good time with it.